if you're putting in more efforts but you're getting less returns, or you're being less productive, then you must know this: the law of diminishing returns. Hello, how are you? Happy New Year. This is Abhilash Marichi. Welcome to the channel. I talk about data, product, and life. The law of diminishing returns states that in productive processes, increasing a factor of production by 1 while holding all others constant will at some point return lower output per incremental input unit. To understand this, let me give you an example. Let's say you run a restaurant, and if you do not have any cooks, your restaurant is not functional because there is nobody to cook and you cannot serve the food. If you add 1 cook, then your restaurant suddenly becomes productive because you can start serving the food now. So there is an increase in the productivity. But there might be many customers who would be waiting for their orders because it would be difficult for 1 cook to serve all the customers at the same time. So what you would eventually do is to add another cook. So with the second cook, everybody starts getting the food on time and your productivity goes up even more. Now you thought, okay, this is working out, so I should add 1 more cook and probably my profit would increase. But when you add the third cook, he might not have so much work as first and second cook. So there would still be an increase in the productivity. Everybody would get their orders on time. And cooks would have less pressure on them because there is a third cook now. But your profit would not increase so dramatically the way it increased when you added your first cook or second cook. You still have an increase in profit, but it's not as much as the previous one. Let's say at this point you went ahead and added 1 more cook to your restaurant. So now you have 4 cooks. The 4th cook might not really have any work to do because your restaurant is small. 2 cooks can take care of your restaurant, but now you have 4 cooks. You have to pay salary for 4 cooks, but the 4th cook is not really loaded with work. You might start ending up losing money because you have to pay the salary for the 4th cook and he is not working. So your profits starts going down. And now at this point, if you still did not learn your lesson, and if you added 5th cook, then you will start getting into loss because you will be paying salaries for 2 cooks who is not actually doing anything. This is what is called diminishing returns. So at some point, the factor which made you profits is no more making you profits. The factor of adding a cook made you profits, but it is not going to make you profits anymore. If you use the same method to increase your profit, you might get into loss. So you should start thinking of other factors to increase your profit. Knowingly or unknowingly, most of us do this in our everyday life and while building the product. If you're building any product and if you start adding feature after feature without really understanding how it is impacting your business, you would start experiencing this diminishing returns because just adding a feature would not really make your product successful. You have to consider all the other factors which play in making your product successful. Similarly, like in the morning, if you have 1 cup of coffee or maximum 2 cups of coffee, it would make you more productive, it would make you more alert, and you might focus well on your work. But if you drink 4 or 5 cups of coffee in the morning, you would become that paranoid person running all around, and it would become counterproductive. Though drinking 1 or 2 cups of coffee would make you productive, but when you add more, it makes you counterproductive. So there are many things in life like this, for which when you put in the right amount of effort, it gives you the maximum result. But if you put the effort in a disproportionate fashion, if you just put enormous effort into something which doesn't require so much, you will start experiencing diminishing returns. So this is something which you have to keep in your mind, and you have to optimize your work and effort and see how much is required for any work you do. At this point in your life, if you're feeling that you're putting in so much effort but getting very less in return, you should start looking at things in a different perspective and see, are you in the graph of diminishing returns? So if we go back to the example of a restaurant, what are the other factors which could help improve the profit of the restaurant? Let's say you have hired 4 cooks now and 2 cooks do not have so much work. So now how do you increase the profit? So one way to increase is to expand your space so that you can accommodate more customers, so that all 4 cooks would be busy expanding your kitchen so that all 4 cooks have their space to work properly. And another way is to expand your menu so that you have varieties of food, and then hire the cooks who specialize in those varieties. So you should start looking into different factors as you grow in your business or as you grow your product. So it's always very important to consider more than one factor when you're just putting in effort. So never simply put effort into one direction. Always consider all the different aspects of it. So in this new year, I would urge you to get out of this diminishing curve and look out all the factors, make the changes, do the tuning, get out of the diminishing curve, get back into profit. Start this 2021 with a bang. And I would like to wish all of you a very happy new year. Stay safe. Enjoy.